By the time you catch this video, you'll probably have all your Black Friday shopping done, all your gifts will be purchased for the holidays, and your backlog will probably be practically completed at this point. Because let's be real, the Switch has had a pretty weak year so far. Alright, for the first time in a while, the Switch has a bit of a slow month, and yes, we're talking about this December, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to speculate about. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life, and today we're bringing you 13 games releasing on the Nintendo Switch in the month of December and beyond that look like they're going to be worth taking up a little extra room on your SD card. Let's take a look. Kicking off our list on the 3rd of December is a title that every Earthbound and Mother 3 fan should be aware of. This is a game called Heroland, an RPG that released in the East last year under the title Work X Work, was actually developed by a few key members of the Mother 3 team. Specifically, Mother 3's lead director Nobuyuki Ino wrote Heroland's story, and its art director Nobuhiro Imagawa designed the world and whimsical characters of Heroland. The game takes place in an island theme park where you play as a tour guide who must help the large cast of parkgoers make their way through the many different theme park dungeons in a series of turn-based battles. I played a bit of this back at E3 this past year, and its slapstick dialogue and just the way it's so self-aware kept me glued to the screen the whole time, and I'm honestly really excited for this one to come out. Then on that same day comes the latest entry in the crop harvesting hard labor simulator, Farming Simulator 20. Now, if you're a fan of games like Story of Seasons, Harvest Moon, and Stardew Valley, this might not exactly be your cup of tea, as it takes a much more serious approach to farming. Sure, you'll still care for your farm animals and crops, but the team at Giant Software have put in an extreme amount of time into the detail of each and every piece of machinery you use on the farm, nabbing big names like John Deere and, well, I guess I'm not familiar with any of these other brands, but you get the point. I was surprised to find that there is a huge following for this series, so if you've ever been curious what the fuss is about, this might be worth a look. Hold on to everything you know, because Alien Isolation is ready to spook you silly when it launches on Switch on the 5th of December. This classic survival horror title takes place 15 years after the events of the first Alien movie, and puts you in the boots of Ellen Ripley's daughter, Amanda, who's traveled out to space to uncover the mystery of her missing mother. Unlike Colonial Marines, Isolation's enemy AI is on point, delivering one of the most crippling, horrific experiences one can get without true VR. And from the gameplay we've seen, it seems to be running real smooth on Switch. This version of Isolation does seem a bit pricey at $34.99, but this version does include all of the previously released DLC, which even allows you to go back and relive Ripley's final scene from the original movie, a true dream for any xenomorph enthusiast. Following up Isolation on the 6th of December is Assassin's Creed The Rebel Collection. This includes the fan-favorite title Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which changes up the series yet again, allowing you to sail the seas as a swashbuckling pirate assassin, while the other included title, Assassin's Creed Rogue, drops you into a similar world, but lets you take control of an opposing member of the Assassin's Guild, a Templar. I guess you could say that Assassin went rogue. We were pretty hard on Assassin's Creed 3 when it re-released on Switch earlier this year, but Ubisoft thankfully has since released a patch that claims to have fixed many of the issues we and many others had with the game. So we can only hope they learned a lot from that port and utilize that knowledge with this collection. Only time will tell. Then if we jump ahead a few blocks on the calendar, we'll find ourselves with a handful of games on the 10th, starting with Blacksad Under the Skin, a gritty noir that's based on a series of comic books of the same name. However, this one holds a brand new story. You play as the private investigator Blacksad, whose job is to uncover the truth behind a mysterious death and investigate a missing person in a fictional version of the 1950s. And as you can see, this is a very fictional story, as all the characters are anthropomorphic. Just like any good adventure game, you get to choose Blacksad's choices, which not only affect the ending, but also affect the overall story of the game. It's hard to not make comparisons to the legacy of titles Telltale created over the years, but it seems the developers of Blacksad are using all of that as inspiration to continue furthering the adventure game formula, and we're excited to see how this one turns out. Following that gritty tale is a game that chooses to flow a bit more upstream, be a little more happy-go-lucky. That game is called Riverbond, a hack and slash and shooting adventure for up to 4 players. And while its graphics may look fairly cute, its gameplay is anything but, pitting you against dangerous monsters with a slew of weapons to choose from. There are also a ton of different characters at your disposal, but if you'd prefer to play as something a bit more familiar, you can play as one of the many indie characters on offer, like Raz from Psychonauts, Shovel Knight himself, the Bullet from Enter the Gungeon, and many, many more. Get ready folks, launching on the 10th of December on Nintendo Switch, 3DS, and you guessed it, even the Wii U, comes the final chapter in the mainline Shovel Knight story, Shovel Knight King of Cards. This highly anticipated title has been in the works for quite some time now, but for good reason, as the team at Yacht Club Games have been fairly busy packing tons of new content into this title, even managing to include what appears to be a triple triad sort of card game. Do you remember that from Final Fantasy VIII? That's insane! What an excellent addition. As far as the King goes, King Knight comes equipped with his own unique moveset to take on 4 brand new worlds with over 30 total courses that are sure to keep Shovel Knight fans busy. And if you've yet to dig into the world of Shovel Knight, you'll do just fine starting out here, as this is a stand-alone game. But Shovel Knight doesn't stop there. Even more Shovel Knight goodness is coming your way on the 10th with Shovel Knight Showdown, a Smash Bros. Inspired multiplayer brawler featuring over 16 characters from the Shovel Knight world, each with their own unique story mode. Showdown and King of Cards will both be available on the eShop for $9.99, but if you've already purchased Shovel Knight Treasure Trove on the eShop, each will be available as a free download. Just when you thought we were done talking about Shovel Knight in this video, he has even more to share with us, as the physical boxed edition of Shovel Knight Treasure Trove and a slew of new amiibo are also launching on the 10th. For anyone unaware, Treasure Trove includes every previously released entry in the Shovel Knight series, including Shovel of Hope, Plague of Shadows, Spectre of Torment, King of Cards, and Showdown, all on the game card, with no extra downloads required. As for the amiibo, we're finally being treated to the Treasure Trove Amiibo 3-pack, which include amiibo of Spectre Knight, Plague Knight, and King Knight. But that's not all. Essentially out of nowhere, a special gold version of Shovel Knight is also launching alongside these, and it functions essentially the same as the original Shovel Knight amiibo that released, but it's just gold. Now, since we're at the tail end of the year, we wanted to talk about a few more games that were slated for a 2019 release, but don't seem like they're going to be finished up before the year's over. Crosscode is a massive action RPG inspired by some of the best titles from the SNES era of games. It features a large world to explore, over 30 bosses to tackle, and claims you'll get anywhere from 30 to 80 hours of gameplay out of. That's quite the range, but it's not like we're complaining. Crosscode released last year on PC and was slated to hit Switch this year, but you know, it's never easy porting a game over from one system to the other. But hopefully soon, we'll be able to put this classic action RPG to the test on Switch. Who doesn't love cats?
I'm more of a bobcat person.
Well, I hope you do, because Mineko's Night Market is looking to blend that together with a bit of garage sailing thrifting, I guess. It's an adventure full of raising and harvesting cats and selling just about anything you can get your grubby hands on at the night market. This title was originally slated for release in 2018, but keeps getting quietly pushed back. Thankfully though, the game somehow magically gets more cute and quirky with every new bit of info we receive. So if it needs a bit more time to keep growing, that's quite alright by us. What the Golf isn't so easily described. It's a game that starts out as a simple, cel-shaded golf game, but then it's almost as if the developers quickly turned and said to themselves, what if? What if we made the player the golf ball? What if we blocked your path to the hole with a bunch of assassins? What if we allowed the ball to shoot a gun? It's absolutely bonkers. And from what we've seen with the brief trailers of the version released on Apple Arcade, it makes us question, is this even a golf game? What's it going to look like when it launches on Switch? And last on our list, but certainly not least, is a title called Red Lantern. It's a first-person survival roguelite where you set off with a team of sled dogs to face the terrors of the Alaskan wilderness. And out there, anything that will go wrong. Shortly after scripting this video, we found out that the Red Lantern officially has been pushed back into 2020 via a post its developer made on Twitter, even though Nintendo's eShop listing still has it set for an ambiguous 2019 date. But we felt it's such a unique and interesting title that we wanted to bring some attention to it before the new year.
And there you have it, just a handful of games releasing on the Nintendo Switch in the month of December and beyond. Feel free to let us know in the comments down below which of these games you're most excited to get your hands on, and let us know if there's anything that you thought we should have put on our list. I personally started Alien Isolation on the PlayStation 4 a couple years ago, but I made it probably 2 hours in and honestly got a little too scared playing it by myself. So the thought of being able to play it on the Switch and play it like in the van or with my band, like when we're on a long drive, or just play it around people is exciting and more comforting, I guess. At least if I have people around me, I think I'll be more comfortable playing it. So I'm excited to try that on Switch. If you enjoyed this video, then why don't you give the gift that keeps on giving by clicking that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life, and from everyone at Nintendo Life, we all hope that you have a happy holiday and a wonderful new year. We'll see you next time. Navi, say hello. You don't often like to be on camera because I can't hold you, but you're just sitting on a pillow now. Where am I? What have you done to me? You all right? You see the camera over there? You see it? She sees the TV with us. That's you. Woo! Woo! Woo!